Alrighty guys, so here we are for our next match in the Ris3n Competitive Clash number 2. This is going to be a game between the yellow Terran in the top right. It is Faz. And in the bottom left corner on the map Isochrome, it is the blue Zerg 11. So, as you all probably already know, if you're familiar with any of these players, Faz is an M1 Terran, and 11 is I think, Diamond 1 Zerg. So we have definitely seen some pretty interesting things happen this tournament. We've had some people who were lower in League or lower in MMR beat out players that were well above them. So we'll see what happens here. But this is definitely going to be a tough match for 11. He is going to need to bring out the best that he has. Faz looking to go for pretty standard so far. Nothing out of the ordinary racks. Gas. It's probably going to be Reaper Fast Expand. And we have Hatch first, Gas, and Pool. Totally standard play so far from both players. One Overlord is headed across the map. He is going to get some vision on that expansion. Orbital on the way. And SCV on low ground, that is going to be Command Center. SCV finally going out. So that's a little bit late of a scout, at least for my own preference. But it does work. Gets the job done. You should have enough time to react to anything, but there is nothing to react to except there's a hatch. So good. Oh, and he gets there just in time to block the drone. That's really good as well. So that drone's gonna lose some mining time and not be able to make a base. These guys are gonna dance a little bit. Faz trying to buy time for his Reaper to get in position, and he's gonna start doing damage. He's gonna block the gas with his SCV, and oh, he pulls it away too quick. Drone does survive, and there are 4 legs on the way now. Faz just needs to micro this and not lose the Reaper. That was really close. Unnecessarily close. Oh no, Faz did end up losing the Reaper, so these Zerglings could run across the map now. Whoa. Okay, so that's kind of a big deal. This is fake. He said, hey man, I'm building a hatch, and he didn't make a hatch. At least from Faz's point of view, this is still going to be a third base Zerg. He's not going to have any indication that it's not until he gets Hellions over there. Evo Chamber on the way for Zerg. What's this going to be? Not even going to begin to guess. And from Faz, still looking pretty standard 1-1-1. He's going to make more Hellions. These first 2 Hellions are going to go across the map, and now he's going to identify that hatch is canceled. Okay, so that's a Roach Warren. This is going to be a +1 Roach with speed timing is what I'm guessing. And no hatch. He's like, well, what? He is getting Banshee, though, so, I mean, he has the appropriate response to this in a sense. It's just safe. This is a safe build order. This is good for Faz. Roaches can't shoot up. So, I mean, these Banshees can be defensive and they can shoot all they want at the Roaches. And the Roaches will eventually die. It's just going to be a matter of if they get anything down on the ground before they die to the Banshee. 11's created a little choke for himself, which Faz is taking advantage of. And these links are slow links, so they are going to die. Whoa, okay, so it's going to be a Nidus as well. One Overlord is peeking in. It's going to maybe run in range. Okay, so Nidus is down. Faz is in his vision. He does have time to react to this. He sees it. He's going to pull all the SCVs. Is there anything in the Nidus? Yeah, there's some stuff in there. Okay, so out of the Nidus comes 2 roaches. Wow. And down they go. There's going to be another Nidus. Now, the outside of the natural. Potentially can apply some pressure to the command center that's being built, the third base, but how much pressure can he really apply whenever there's 2 Banshees here? There is another Nidus going down in the main now. His units are not going into place to deal with that yet. There is one Marine over there shooting at the Overlord. Command center is going to continue to be delayed. Nidus does go down again. And now the roaches are going to start to pop out. Everything is running to this Nidus. Hellions are engaging roaches. SCVs are running away. And this SCV is still not building. So now he's got 3 Banshees. So this is really going to start to get shut down pretty quickly. Banshee's cloak and Queens can't shoot up at it. So 11's really needs to look at doing a transition to get out of this. The one saving grace is mining is not efficient at the moment for Faz, and he did not resume production on his 3rd command center. However, on 11's side, he is not making a 3rd base, so he's gonna hit again with another Nidus that I didn't see coming. There it is. More Queens and an Overseer. He doesn't have enough Queens though to deal with 3 Banshees, I don't think. Not whenever they start engaging and they're not even shooting. He does have these transfuses though. The 3rd command center does finish, but it is on fire. Oh my goodness, this is going to go down. Alright, 3rd command center goes down from Faz. This is a lot of damage and SCVs are being pulled. I feel like he can clean this up, but what is it going to cost? Actually, the Banshees are dead, and there are no Banshees in production further at this point. Faz is dropping in supply, down to 35. Army supply, 23 workers remain. He does have mules and 2 command centers, but I don't see him cleaning this up at this current moment. In production are Marauders, which will help with this. No medevacs though, so all damage is going to be permanent damage. Now he's going to try to hold out in his main for as long as possible. Again, 2nd command center can fly away, continue producing SCVs. One Widow Mine does burrow. It doesn't get... Okay, it gets focused. But Faz is just... This might be enough to hold. Yeah, he's going to have enough units streaming out to hold this. It's looking really dicey here for a moment. But these Marauders came out just in time. Very clutch. He puts down his command center before the creep can actually get there. But 11 is rolling in with some more roaches, and now it's down to 2 Marauders. 1 medevac has finally popped, so that is going to make this Bioforce just a little bit more sustainable, but now there are Ravagers being formed in the natural expansion of Faz, and he's going to have to lift his command center again, and this creep is now going to get underneath that, and that's going to make this even more difficult to land. Stim is done. That supply depot is going to fall, but 11 still has to continue to try to push up a ramp, and he does not take an expansion. So as time progresses, this army for Faz is bound to get a little bit stronger. There's going to be more potential here with medevacs and stim. So as long as Faz takes good fights, he can reclaim this and maintain the game, his game presence here. There are a lot of units here. This is looking really close. Thanks to that medevac though, but he is almost out of energy and there's not another medevac in production. Unfortunately, he's producing off of 5 racks though, so I think... I don't know, man. I've been saying it this whole time. I think he can clean this up, but 11 just keeps rallying units across the map. Another production wave comes out of these barracks is for Faz, so a little bit more DPS here. Is it enough to hold? He identified he really needs some medevacs, so he is going to produce another one. He's looking to take the best trade he possibly can, using the Sim City to force the roaches to only have a couple firing at a time if possible. So much is going on here. This medevac's about to pop, which means these 2 Marauders can start to... 1 Marauder can start to gain HP. Wow. So much work being done here by Faz to try and hold this. That bile does not hit anything, so SCV count is falling for Faz. 14 workers now. But there are 6 more roaches streaming in, and only 2 units in production for Faz. He's gonna micro his heart out here. There are more roaches streaming in right now for 11. And it is down to just a couple Marauders that are stutter stepping back with 1 medevac with low HP and low energy. The boys are pulled again. GG is called, and 11 takes game number 1. Alright, so on to game number 2 of this best of 5. Spawning in the bottom left corner on the map Everdream, it is the yellow Terran, Faz. And in the top right, up 1-0 against Faz, it is the Blue Zerg 11. And yeah, I said it last game, I'm impressed. He pulled out a cheeky build, and he just kept on streaming the units across the map and kept trying to make it work, and it worked. He just took down Faz game number 1, so we'll see what he has to bring this game. A little bit of metagame there, or cheekiness, by canceling the hatchery after trying so hard to get it, or appearing to try hard to get it, just to drop it and cancel it. Although that's not as big of an investment as SOS did against Armani. It was SOS, right? Can't remember. Making carriers and canceling carriers and void rays and canceling stuff. This is acceptable. It only cost him like 75 minerals. So pretty standard again coming out here from Faz. I think honestly last game, I think the big mistake was just losing the Banshees. That was the DPS shooting down at the roaches. And I feel like he thought, hey, I've got 3 Banshees, I can transition out of it now. But unfortunately he just lost them, and then he didn't have a tech lab on the starport. He switched over to reactors so he could start making bio. And he just got done in. So we'll see how he adjusts this game to whatever 11 could be bringing his way. And he is going once again for that other base. Faz not chasing it this time with the SCV. He says, hey man, SCV goes home. Reaper is on its way across the map. And Marine is going to be produced. Alright, so Reaper does engage. One Ling falls really quickly. The third base has been taken again. We'll see how long that lasts. Alright, so that's 2 Zerglings down. The Queen has popped, so that's going to start to ward away the Reaper. He does offer his Creep Tumor, though, and that was with the Reaper still sitting right there. He should have pushed that Reaper a little further away. That's 25 energy lost. That's going to ultimately, I think, cost him either a little bit of creep spread or an inject, just depending on what he decides to do. Kind of a big deal, actually. Fast third CC from Faz. Delays his starport and his Hellion production just slightly to make that happen, but that is going to give him a huge economic boost. But not that big of a delay. It's enough of a delay that if your opponent goes 3 hatch, like, you're in a good spot. The Bailey Nest is down. I would say that's pretty early considering what's been scouted at this point. I'm interested to see what his goal is. There are 10 Zerglings on the way, though, so this does appear to be a rush of Lings and Banes. His goal is going to be, hey, I went 3 hatch, you feel safe, but you're not actually safe. And let's see what Faz does. He is going to continue to produce Hellions. 2 are on the map now. For his sake, he does need to stay on that and not let these get caught mid-map. That would be really unfortunate for him. Overlord does fly in and sees a little bit of what's at the wall. And okay, so the Zerglings are starting to move out, and Faz just appeared at the other base. He sees there are no drones here. He is going to miss the move out minus these 2 Zerglings, though. But since these 2 Zerglings... Yeah, he should know now. And speed's done. Okay, so these Hellions are going to get caught, maybe? There is no wall here, though, so Faz is going to lose his low ground. Okay, so he runs down the ramp with his Hellions. They are going to get completely surrounded, so this is not actually a good position for Faz. All these Banelings are being constructed. He has no Hellions in his main, so Bunker, he needs to move his CC over to the wall. He is going to do that. I didn't see what happened to the other Hellions. I do think they went down. Banshee is on the field. He's going to start focusing down the Banelings. Okay, so Lings and Banes are in the main now. SCVs are pulled. Hellions are in place. There are 2 Banelings left. Okay, 1 Baneling left, so he can try to engage now with all of these SCVs and Hellions. Okay, the Lings run right past the Hellions. That's actually really good for Faz. That keeps him alive for a little bit longer. Okay, we have 3 Hellions now. He's going to try to rebuild the wall, but there are more Zerglings here. I think this can clean it up, though, with minimal losses. 17 SCVs to 27 drones at the moment. That depot does get killed, not canceled. He does need to attempt again to get that put back down, though, because there are more Zerglings on the way across the map, and these Hellions have low HP. Okay, so supply depot is down, and now there are 4 Hellions and 2 Banshees. This is going to be a hold from Faz. Well, it should be a hold. There are some Banelings in the way. Not a tight wall up top. But that's not really something you want to run through. He's not going to run his Banelings through that. That would be kind of suicide. Unless he pulls Faz all the way down to the bottom right of the base while he runs everything else in. Okay, so now these Banelings are in. They are going to not get any damage done. They all die for pretty negative trade, I would say. I don't think they actually killed a single thing. The Zerglings in the natural do kill 2 SCVs. So 27 workers have been lost here for Faz at this point, and 11's not letting up. He wants to continue this pressure, even though there are so many Hellions now and 3 Banshees. Once again, you can't continue this at this point. Once this is the defense, you need to transition out. He did excessive amount of damage, and he should be, but he's not. These are all super negative trades now at this point, and he needs to start droning. But he's not. He's making more Zerglings. He still wants to end the game just like he did last time. Last game he was really resilient, and he ended up winning the game. And I think he's going for a similar outcome here. Maybe he feels like if he just keeps pushing it, that this could go in his favor and end. But still, so many Zerglings are just dying for nothing. They're not doing any damage. So 3 Banelings are running into the natural. 1 Baneling dies before it's anywhere to do any damage. Okay. 3 Banelings trade out for all the mules. And 11, you really need to drone out of this, my man. He was going for a surround on the Hellions. Missed the surround. And more Zerglings are coming in as the rest of the surround is dying. So these units will not get surrounded. I do see a GG being called here shortly, as 11 doesn't have anything really to deal with this army. 4 Banshees, there's 2 Queens in the natural, maybe some Banes, but he just didn't transition out of it. And I feel like that's really what he needed to do. He can't kill. He's not going to be able to kill all the Banshees. Faz looks like he's just trying to play it safe this game. He lost his Banshees last time, and that cost him a game. So this time he is a little bit more cautious with them. He waited a long time before jumping on those units. And third hatch does go down. Back at home, we have a battle mech response, or at least a mech response. I don't see Cyclones yet, but that's probably what I would do against this. So, yeah. Okay, 1 Banshee does fall to Spores, but that Spore is out of place to defend the mineral line. On the other side of the map, 11 is pushing again. Okay, so he trades out against a lot of Hellions, but it doesn't look like it's enough. Another Banshee does fall to Spores. He was shooting at the hatchery, though, instead of the workers. On the other side of the map, Lings do press in again, and they are going to start attacking workers and the Hellions that were on the ramp. Spore does come in place to deal with the Banshee. So one more Banshee does fall. Faz has successfully killed 6 workers in his counter. But honestly, I think that's all the damage you really need to do. Yeah, 11's just not making any more drones. He still just wants to make Lings and pound across the map. I don't think he's seen the follow-up. Okay, he has seen the follow-up.
SCV ready.
So Faz does see these Zerglings morphing, and he picks them off. And he is just going to continue to get a bigger and better army with a better economy, while he still has to produce units, of course, to defend what's going on. He is Terran, which means he doesn't have to produce everything from one production facility, which would be where he doesn't have to balance units for drones, right? He can keep making SCVs, keep making units to hold this, while 11 is just making nothing but units and not building a single drone. Alright, so Faz was positioning himself on the ramp. It looks like 11 identified that, and he wants to come around maybe for a flank. Say, hey, if you're still on that ramp, whenever I come in, I could take a super positive trade and maybe end the game. And he's going to try for it. However, Faz is ready for this. He identifies, okay, well, there's a transfer on the way. He is likely to lose some of these SCVs, but he's going to trade so efficiently versus the army. And he has Blue Flame Hellion. This is an army that you want against what 11 is doing. 11 sees the fact there's a third base. I'm sure he feels like there is a timer on what he is doing, especially knowing that Faz has a good army that he's not going to be able to compete with at the moment. He avoids the army and runs into the base, runs into the main, splits some Zerglings off into the natural, so he's going to force Faz to pull all of his workers away, but that's okay. They're just going to run to the safety of the army, which is right here. And just a couple Hellions which had popped. Coming up behind this, once again, back where the SCVs are more Zerglings, but they're going to get barbecued. He is forcing Faz to do a lot of pulls of workers in different directions, which is frustrating because you have to repopulate your gases and put people back on the minerals. We are going to see 11 try to retake his third base. Little does he know, in 2 seconds, he's going to realize it's just not possible. Because Faz is here with the army. And that base will go down. More Lings are in production. Faz is going to turn all of these units into Hellbats, and GG is called. Alrighty. So, on the map, Pillars and Gold spawning in the top right corner, it is the yellow Terran, Faz. And in the bottom left corner, it is the blue Zerg, 11. Depot in the wall. Ugh. GL is called, and GLHF is also called. What will we see this game from 11? Okay, so gas. Is this just for drone production? What is this? No, it's not just for drone production. You already have your other overlord. You are going pool first. Or gas pool. So we will see what happens here. Faz each game has elected to scout late with his SCV, so there is the potential that 11 starts us off by running some Zerglings around the Reaper scout path and gets to this command center in time to delay it, which can be really annoying because your Reaper will be like right here, and you'll be like, "Hey man, I'm here with Zerglings," and you don't actually have anything to stop them from killing the SCV that's building your building. You're building your command center. So I'm assuming that's what we're going for. Production tab does show 2 Zerglings. He's probably going to make 2 more here in a moment, because you can't really do this with just 2, because then you'll die to like 2 SCVs and a Marine. Okay, well, that's what we're doing. Actually, we're just not sending them across the map at all. I was completely wrong. I'm sorry. Okay, so this is actually a completely different build than what I thought. This is cheeky. So, what's going to happen here? I think, since there's a Roach Warren on the way, 11 is going to make 3 Roaches, turn them into Ravagers, and everything else is going to be Speedlings. The hold for this is actually pretty technical, at least anytime I've done it with the build orders that I use, because it's a pain. Ravagers act like Banelings. They just take stuff down. Against a Bane bust, you would, just make Hellions, but Hellions aren't going to kill the Ravagers. So, you need Bunker, you need Tank. But I don't think Faz saw him put down the Roach Warren. No. And he didn't send his Reaper across the map. Oh no. So Faz is going to go into Hellion production. There are 3 Roaches on the way across the map. 4 Roaches now. So, 11, Faz getting a little adventurous now with his units. He is going to now see that there are Roaches on the way. So he loses both of those units and now has identified, I need a bunker. He evacuates his low ground because he realizes this is not going to be something he can hold. He is going to raise his wall just in time and start Banshee production immediately. Where are the Ravagers? There they are. 2 Ravagers right there. So now he's going to start working on taking down this wall so he can get in the base. Yep. So wall goes down, and now these Roaches and Zerglings can go into the Bane. There's about 15 more seconds, it looks like, on this Banshee. SCVs have been pulled. Once again, bunker does complete. There are no Marines left, it looks like, to go in, though. SCVs are going to run back to the mineral line, and this is looking really bad here for Faz. He is going to gun down this starport. The Banshee will complete. He did bait them away just briefly with the SCVs. Oh, Biles. Oh, Biles connects with so many SCVs right there. He needs to keep the Hellions alive because he needs those to deal with the Zerglings. Good SCV pull. And 11 is not capitalizing so much on the damage he could be doing, or should be doing. Oh no, the Command Center Natural is low on HP. It is burning. If that falls, this is going to be even worse now for Faz here. Oh! Command Center falls to the Natural for Faz. So once again, we are here trying our best to hold in a really bad situation here for Faz. The pressure does finally stop. Faz is on 1 command center. Needs to salvage those bunkers, of course. He's going to move around with his Banshee a little bit to see if there are any units incoming. However, the path that the units are streaming in on is a little bit to the left. This is not good. He needs this Banshee to be engaging. Oh, gosh. This is just not the best luck possible you can have for Faz right now. He doesn't have anything at home. He's not going to be able to stop this. He is identified now. He's going to maybe bring the Banshee back home. This supply depot is now going to fall. And the Roaches and Zerglings have free reign again. GG is called. Alright. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner on the map Eternal Empire is the Yellow Terran. Ris3n Faz. And in the top right corner, it is the Blue Zerg 11. And in a truly surprising twist, 11 is up 2-1 right now against Faz. Faz electing to play very standard, it appears, with going Reaper Hellion. That is generally pretty defensive. And it usually works out pretty well. It just unfortunately hasn't worked out that well these games. Just a couple uncharacteristic mistakes from Faz are putting him in situations that I don't normally think he would be in. Faz is an excellent Terran player. He is now sending his SCV across the map at an earlier time than what he did last game. And he is going to try to get a good full scout on, see what's going on up there. This game's looking pretty standard from 11. Only 2 guys on gas, though. I don't know if that's a mistake or if that's intentional. He was doing it from the rally. That's fine. Faz back at home, building a Reaper. And this is Eternal Empire, so he is going to roll over here and attempt to deny or block this base, but he has no intention of taking that base. This is weird. I don't like it. So whatever he's doing... Okay. Reaper is now in the natural for 11. And 11 does take the gas-heavy base. And to Faz, this is going to look a little bit weird. Like, hey, where's your base? What are you doing? Oh, the Reaper. Reaper goes down. So now he really doesn't have any way to identify what's going on there. So he's already thinking, hey, he didn't make a third base. Or he didn't even attempt to take it whenever he was out there with his SCV. And if you're not attempting to really take it at that time, it already is a little bit weird. And I'm pretty sure he saw the SCV or the drone going over there. Okay, Faz this game electing to go tank. I like this decision, I think. I just don't know what we're going to see from 11 here. If this is going to be some 2-base muta play, just also getting this extractor for an even more amount of mutas, mo mutas. He is making a Viking this game. I like that because he can ward off Overlords, which denies the vision for 11. And also he can use that to scout. That's what I'll do sometimes if I'm playing blind. So layers on the way. I'm starting to think we're going to see mutas here from 11. I feel like 11 came out here tonight with some builds super prepared for this matchup. Yep, so he is getting the gas. The high yield gas, and there is a Bane Nest on the way. So this isn't roaches. This is going to be mutas. This is going to be a large amount of mutas because this is like having a third base. A third base with both extractors. That's how fast it mines gas, I think. I think it's 6 per, or maybe it's 5. I can't remember. I don't play mech often, so it doesn't actually matter to me that much. But they're not mining at the moment. A little bit of a mishap. I think he still rallied them over there before he constructed it. So, Faz electing to play probably about as safe as you could. Delaying a third base in favor of having units on the field, considering the opponent he's been playing against has been doing nothing but aggressive play, I agree with the decision. The Spire is on the way. I think that's a little bit late for the build that is occurring here. I think he could have had that sooner, but that is okay. But I like Faz's response to this. I think this is appropriate for going against a 2-base or a, I guess, 3-base Muta, technically. So Faz does see creep. Does he actually look at it, though? Whether that, I mean, that's kind of a big deal. He doesn't see a base here, so that's already enough to have him like, hey, what's going on? So he is going to run over into the main and see Lair. Oh! Queen injects! He saw the Nidus for a brief moment. I don't think anything in him thinks that's a Spore. He knows that's a Nidus. So now he knows. He got the information he needed, and he's dropping 2 more Raxes. And he's pushing across the map. Combat Shield is... Okay, so Combat Shield doesn't exist yet, but Stim does, which is really good. And Faz has excellent micro. But he still doesn't know about the space. He didn't actually look back over there. I mean, it's just a slight bit of creep. You wouldn't really know unless you had your screen on it. He's going to see it now, though. He's going to be like, hey, man, what's all this creep? There are 4 Banelings here. So let's see some good control. Focus the Banes. Banes get focused, and Faz is going to start microing back towards his tanks. A couple mutas do get picked off. So, because 11 took this really weird base, he does have enough gas to make mutas and a lot of Banelings, which isn't something you would normally see against a 2-base muta play. So this is going to be a little bit tricky here. Faz is going to have to micro perfectly. These Marines do not have combat shield, and they are running low on HP with only 1 medevac to heal them all. This 3rd base is going to go down, it appears. Yep, down it goes. And I think we have a little bit of a blunder here from 11. I feel like he's got the money, but he just didn't have the larva. He must have been missing injects, which is really unfortunate for him because he has a lot of money, which could have done him a lot of good. Now these Marines are running off creep, and these Banes are going to run into tanks and get nothing done. And there is no 3rd base now here for 11, and Faz is going to continue to push up here and start clearing creep. More Marines are running in, and combat shield is now complete. Faz has taken his 3rd base. This is an excellent position now for Faz. Banelings have completed, but that's really it. That's all there is here. Just a couple Banes. One of them goes off near the Marines, but it wasn't enough to have the acid soak through all of their armor and eat them alive. Faz takes game number 2. Or, excuse me, takes his 2nd win of the series. We are going to game number... Just clicked back to it a little bit too late. Alright guys, this is a really big deal here. Match point, game number 5. Here we are, spawning in the bottom right corner. It is the yellow Terran, representing Ris3n Competitive. It is Faz. And in the top left corner, representing the Ashes branch, it is the Blue Zerg 11 with a 13-12. I would like to see Faz this game scout at a decent time, just like our Twitch chat said. Scouting at a good time this game. Okay, his next SCV is rallied across the map. He is playing this smart. He rallied him across, then rallied him back. He is going to get the information that he should need. Yeah, so this timing for this SCV, he's going to get there before Faz would have to drop his expansion. So he's going to see that it is a 13-12. And there's a good chance he's going to get there before whatever the follow-up production is. Yeah, it's a Baneling nest. So he's going for a 1-base Baneling bust. I'm going to be honest. I'll hold it till after the game. I have strong feelings about this build, and I just don't actually... I don't see it that often anymore. It's just not one of those things that's considered the most viable. The hold for is really technical, and you can screw up the hold, and it's really frustrating when you do. But it's also a hold where if you just hold it, the game's over. And Faz is starting to react to this. He is going to double that wall. He identifies it is a Bailey nest and that there is no expansion. He does not need to drop a command center now. He can make his factory as soon as he has enough gas for it, and he's going to continue to produce Marines off of this. I would like to see him build a bunker in his mineral line, but first it looks like he's going to double up on the wall, which I approve of. I personally make one bunker right here in the mineral line because sometimes if you just make a slight error and they get all the way through, that's not good. So he didn't get speed. 11 skipped speed for this very fast Baneling bust. This is a hold. 100% this is a hold. This game is actually over. He really needed to get in there with that first one. I think if this was a game where Faz didn't SCV scout, he probably could have won the game right there. I don't see that happening now. I missed the fact he skipped Zergling speed. He is going to expand now and try to come out of this. Drones are in production. I do agree with this assessment. I approve of the response now at this point for 11. This is what he needs to do. He can't continue to do this like he did in game number 3, I think it was. Or game number 2, where he just kept going across the map. Okay, just kidding. You know what? He built a couple drones, he built another hatchery, he kind of has it there, but his response now at this point is to make roaches. I don't think I've ever seen someone go straight into roaches after doing this. Let's see what Faz does. He is going to drop a tech lab for his starport, which means he's probably going to go Banshees. I think that he swats this down, but I think the build that 11's about to go for is exactly what he did in the second game that he won. Where he makes a lot of lings and roaches and then goes across the map. And you know, that was okay. It worked for the game that it was. Faz does have his starport already up, so he should be able to start producing a Banshee here momentarily. Nope, he's going Battlecruiser. Okay, I think that's an excellent response, and since 11 hasn't even started to go across the map yet, I don't see 11 having enough queens to hold this. Battlecruiser is now on the way. A good response from Faz. I do highly approve. You know, if 11 had gone straight across the map immediately, I think he could have done some damage. But that's not his intention. It looks like he just made a couple roaches. I guess his thought process on that was the response is going to be Hellions, which means if he has a couple roaches, that pressure gets shut down, which is fair. It's an okay thought. But right now, what he needs more than anything else is queens. Because this bad boy right here, who's going to come out of this thing, is going to mess up Zerg. Because there are... Okay, so spores are on the way. I don't think he's seen anything to suggest that this is what he needs. I think this is just, hey man, I should make some of these right now at this point, because I don't know what's coming next. And here we go. So this battlecruiser is going to start laying down some hate on these 4. There are no transfuses available. This 4 does go down, and now he's going to start attacking the queens. There's only 2 queens here. 1 queen does fall, and the second queen is also going to fall. Nidus Worm is on the way. This is going to be a Hail Mary. Hail Mary response. Okay. Battlecruiser in my base. I'll make a Nidus, and we're going to put it in your main. It does get canceled. I wonder if that should have maybe been a Hydra Den. Oh no, he made another Nidus number 2. He really is intent on trying to do a Nidus. Nidus is in production. It is spotted by a Marine. So this had the potential maybe to get a little bit of damage done, but is it going to go down? It completes. One roach pops out and says, oh my god, I'm dead. And so many drones fall at this point now. 24 drones have fallen. 7 workers do remain for 11. I don't think he even has enough to make another Nidus. He does not, but he has all of his units in that Nidus. He is going to pull some drones back to his natural. Nope. I thought he was going to pull enough drones to get enough money to make another Nidus and go for it again. Another battlecruiser is down. There are multiple tanks here. I don't see anything that 11 can do at this point to get back in this game. Faz is just way too far ahead, and here comes the second battlecruiser. With what's remaining here, Faz actually can just kill the rest of this with what he has attacking. GG is called, and